Well, in the corridors of power in New Delhi today, there is perhaps no American official more reviled than Peter Navarro. From the bustling streets of Mumbai to the political chambers of parliament, Navarro has become synonymous with economic aggression and also with cultural insensitivity, earning him the distinction of being one of the most despised figure in contemporary India-US relations. His recent inflammatory remarks about Brahmin profiteering at the expense of Indian people while defending punitive 50% tariffs of Indian goods have ignited a firestorm of outrage, with critiques branding his comments as casteist, sinister and a deliberate attempt to weaponize India's social fabric against its own government. Well, the biggest question is, who is Peter Navarro and how he became architect of Trump's trade war against India? Come along, let's find out. Born in Cambridge, Massachusetts in 1949, Navarro is an economist who spent decades in relative academic obscurity as a professor emeritus at UC Irvine's Business School. Armed with Harvard PhD in economics, this former Peace Corps volunteer in Washington authored numerous books, including the 2011 tome Death by China, which would eventually catapult him from university lectures halls to the highest echelons of American power. This book will become important later on. Before his political ascent, Navarro was a failed Democratic candidate who ran unsuccessfully from various San Diego offices 5 times, including for mayor in 1992. So how Navarro grabbed Trump's attention is nothing short of a modern political fairy tale. In 2016, when Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner was tasked with researching China policy, he stumbled upon Navarro's Death by China during an Amazon search. Interestingly, in this controversial book with dubious facts and claims, Navarro heavily relied on an economist named Ron Vera. But Ron Vera does not exist. If the name doesn't give it away, Ron Vera is a figment of Navarro's imagination. Now, Kushner, enamored by the book's aggressive anti-China thesis, called the eccentric former professor and recruited him as Trump's trade advisor. This discovery transformed Navarro from academic outsider to the architect of Trump's protectionist agenda, earning him Trump's ear by providing the underlying analytics that confirm Trump's institution of trade. During Trump's first administration, Navarro served as director of the White House National Trade Council and later the Office of Trade and Manufacturing Policy, becoming the administration's most hawkish voice on trade. Well, in essence, people like Navarro, Levitt, Hegseth and Linda McMahon are yes men for Trump. Peter Navarro was also instrumental in designing the US-China trade war, advocating for sweeping tariffs and protectionist measures that fundamentally reshaped America's economic relationship. In fact, his influence was so profound that the New York Times noted he had managed to exert enormous influence over United States trade policy. However, his tenure was marked by spectacular controversies, including his declaration that there was a special place in hell for Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Now, Navarro's hate for India stems from his broader economic nationalism and his role in Trump's second administration as senior counselor for trade and manufacturing. Having served for 4 months in federal prison for contempt of Congress related to January 6 investigations, Navarro returned to power in 2025 more combative than ever. He has branded India as literally the Maharaja of tariffs and accused it of serving as a laundromat for Kremlin, well, through its Russian oil purchases. His recent escalation to calling the Ukraine conflict Modi's war and seemingly invoking caste-based rhetoric represents the weaponization of cultural knowledge to pressure and persuade India into abandoning its strategic autonomy. But for Indians, Navarro embodies America's worst impulse: economic bullying wrapped in civilization condensation. For a nation that saw itself as America's natural democratic partner in containing multiple adversaries, Navarro's venomous attacks feels like a betrayal of shared values and strategic interests. In fact, his transformation from a failed Democratic politician to what now many call him Trump's attack dog has made him the face of American economic aggression towards India, earning him a permanent place in the pantheon of figures Indians love to hate.